Hey.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. I have a guest in the studio with me. I'm so honored. I have Ruth Bahika, but you see the name goes Kandeje, so maybe she'll tell you where that name comes from. But we're honored to have her in studio. She's an amazing lady, one of those people that inspire me. She's been a long time friend, and I decided to bring her in so she can share her story with you guys and inspire a whole bunch of us who don't think we can do some things, but she's been doing it and how she's done it. So, and if you guys want to be part of her journey and help out, she's the founder of Gracevilla Foundation. It's you guys. I'll put all the details in the description, but it's a home for the homeless girls, for the unfortunate girls, orphans, all those girls in villages who were at risk of being married off at the age of 10, below 10. So she was able to give them a home. So I want to hear her story. I want you guys to also know her story. So, hey, Ruth, thanks for joining me. How are you?
I'm well, Brenda. So nice to see you here. Yeah, and thank you for that really cool introduction. I want to apologize if it's a bit dark. Yeah, Brenda, can you hear me?
I can hear
Can you
you.
see me
Yeah.
and hear me?
I can. I can see you.
Okay, but you can't see me.
I can see
Okay, yeah.
you.
So greetings from Kabale. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from Gracevilla. I'm here in our dining room. I'm sitting in Gracevilla. Brenda, thank you for having me on your show. I feel like I'm sitting next to like a mini opera.
That's
So
not
this
true.
is,
You should be
I'm
the mini
honored.
opera.
Yeah, I'm honored. Hey, yeah. Well, thank you for having me. Yes.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. Let me see if we share the link. So who is Ruth? Tell us who is Ruth, please, and what can people know about you?
Yeah. So yeah, Ruth. My middle name is Kendije, which is what you see down there, that point. Yeah. So in Diabahika, I am the daughter of two reverends, Reverend James and Reverend Grace in Diabahika. From my dad's from Chinchizi in Uganda, and my mom's from Chanamira, also in Uganda, Western Uganda. I have a big brother, Apollo Diabahika, who's in Baltimore, not too far away from you, Brenda.
Mhm.
And then a little sister who's in Vancouver, Canada. My sister is called Rachelle Bahika Matembe. She's married to Gilbert, and my brother is married to Duba. So I'm in the middle of those two amazing people. My parents, my dad passed away a few years ago, but he's still in our hearts. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm the product of uh, two pastors, two reverends. Here I found out that there's this abbreviation PK, as in I'm a PK, pastor's kid. So many years ago, um, now when I tell this story, everyone like knows my age, but it's okay. so many, so many years ago, during the reign of Idi Amin, my parents were bundled up and sent to go pursue their further degrees in Chicago, Illinois, by Bishop Festo Chivenjeri. At that time, it was a bit dangerous for reverends to be here in Uganda, and my mom was yeah, so he got them scholarships and they went to Chicago. And my mom was very pregnant with me. So she didn't want to go, but she was pretty much forced. And so because I was in her belly while she flew, and in her final months, they named me Kendije, which means of an airplane. So that's where my name
Oh,
comes
that's
from.
what Kendeja
Yeah.
means. Indeja is an airplane. Ah,
Yes. Yeah. So I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and that's why I was born abroad. But yes, I'm a Muchiga, Musiji, but that's my foreign. Mm-hmm.
that's
So I'm a child
amazing. That's
psychologist. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, for any of you guys who are wondering, so Ruth is back in Uganda, and yeah, like she told you, that the backstory. So, how did you, when I met you here, that was in the US many years ago, at a wedding, and you mentioned that, hey, I'm going back to Uganda. I was like, are you crazy? Like, what's wrong with you? And you told me you were going back because you had a calling and you felt like you wanted to go back and help out some young girls. And at that point, it was like, I was like, this girl is dreaming. But not even a year after you told me, I saw you packing your bags and you were at the airport and you're going back to Uganda. So what brought up the Gracevilla organization? What inspired you? What can you share with us?
Hmm. Yeah, I remember people used to give me, they'll say she'll only last 3 months. Then they said she'll last a year. Then they gave me 3 years. So it's now been 7 years, almost 8 years, of me here in Kabale. So I mentioned I'm a child psychologist. So I've worked with kids for a long, long time, and kids who need that, extra attention. I don't think I need to describe what a child psychologist does. So a long, long time ago, I lived with my brother in Massachusetts, and we had this group of friends. And one thing that we would do every Friday night was have a movie night where everybody would
Mhm.
bring like their favorite movie and we all share it and all that. So we were hosting that day, and I need to say they were American friends. So I
Mhm.
guess so they brought the DVD. It was in the days of DVDs. So I think they were looking for the most Ugandan thing they could find, and a documentary had just come out, and it was called The Invisible Children. And in case you haven't watched it, it's depicted the atrocities carried out by Joseph Kony on the kids in northern Uganda, the night commuters. So I had heard
Mhm.
about the night commuters. I think we had all heard about them. But there's something about seeing a visual that just puts things to a whole different light. And with me, I've always loved kids. And it hit me in a particular way. I think I was moved because it showed like really, really, like the awful stuff that went on with indoctrination of children and, what Connie did to the kids to make them become child soldiers or child brides. But I was also ashamed because I didn't know much about it. So all these people are asking me, what is this? What's this? And I couldn't explain. And was there even Google at that time? Anyway, so I remember I was so moved, I cried. And the next day, my brother and I, we purposed to look at the back. When you'd flip the DVD, there would be like email
Yeah.
addresses or phone numbers. So we contacted the Invisible Children and we asked how we could help or if they needed help. And they were thrilled because turns out they had been working for a while, but they didn't have many Ugandans to work with. So long story short, my brother and I became we were the advocates. We were advocates on behalf of invisible children in that region, Massachusetts, and on the East Coast. So my life pretty much flipped at that point because I started. It became my new. It gave me a purpose, like an interesting purpose in life, and this purpose was to do all that I could to be the voice of these kids who needed a voice. And so we went out to schools, we went out to churches, to gatherings, anyone that would listen. And I wasn't a good, even now I don't like public speaking. I'm that person who the people would
No,
shame me
you're always like a shy
when
person. Yeah.
I'm kind of low key, but I came alive for these kids. It just basically transformed me. And yeah, so my holidays after that changed. I stopped going home just to hang out with friends and with family. It became, yes, I would do family, but a big chunk of it would be I would go to northern Uganda and volunteer with the Invisible Children as a child psychologist. So now then after the holidays would end, I would go back to the US and my regular job. I stopped. So I guess what I was doing was important in the US, but I didn't feel like it was my purpose anymore. And if you are working with people who depend upon you giving them 100%, if you can't give 100%, you know that it's time for you to move on to where you can give 100%.
Right. Right.
And yeah, so I went home to Uganda for a good chunk, 3 months. just to feel my way around. I had been away for 20 years at that point, well, like 18 at that point. So I needed to relearn home. I got a job, a small job, and said also volunteering in different, um, you know, mainly orphanages around the country to get a feel for what other people were doing and to get a feel for what the actual need was. Because I didn't want to just come in saying, "Oh, I know what what you need." I wanted to be very systematic and careful and not make a mistake and not come in with all these ideas that wouldn't really work or that were not really needed. So at the end of those 3 months, I went back to the States and started. It took me 2 years. Brenda, by the time I met you, I think I had planned it for 2 years and came up with Gracevilla. So I knew I wanted a home. I knew I wanted it to be a warm, safe environment where kids would not only be safe, but also feel loved and feel nurtured and be empowered to be unique, and to, just to, it was this vision, and I knew what I wanted it to be like. And I remember saying we would have a maximum of 20 girls in the whole organization because I wanted them to go to private school and blah, blah. I had all these amazing plans. That didn't happen because in the end, I think within in my first year, I already had 60 kids. So private schools went out the window. So that's basically the journey to Gracevilla.
So that's great. That's great. So what, I mean, I'm just like looking at, let me see if I can share here, share screen. This is reminders. So let's see. I'm looking at these amazing pictures here, and like Gracevilla, I can see this kid here, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I see your pictures here, and we raised by lifting others, and I couldn't agree more. I'm seeing, is that like a library that you've been able to put in place? I'm looking at,
so our garage. Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So we turned our garage into a library.
You turned your garage. So this is pretty much, this was your garage.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And here the more babies. I see these kids, like so much hope.
That's Helen.
Like seeing these other kids here. Like look at these faces. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and
that's
our soccer club. So that's one of the things that we do. It just happened and ended up being really fantastic. You know that we're champions here in the district. We've won quite a number of
I saw that. You guys are like, I can't imagine even like there was never soccer for girls that much, and you just transformed the whole idea. And look at that. So what are they doing there?
So this is tailoring on our these are some of our products from tailoring. That's a laptop bag. So one of the ways that we create sustainability at the home is through tailoring. And we emphasize, we want the girls, we don't want people to buy our product just because they were made by at-risk girls, but we want them to see a fantastic thing and then find out later that it was made by our girls. So we stress, good quality products.
Okay. And I see here, this is like their art.
That's one of our art walls here.
And this is their bedding.
See that art in the back?
Where this one here?
The picture before.
No,
so
the picture before this.
Here. We had Laura here, and she was an art therapist. So remember that day she had asked them, if you were a plant, what would you be and why? So each one of those is a painting that each one of the kids did. And they all came up with things like, oh, I want to have big leaves so that I provide shelter to other people, or I want to have deep family roots, things like that.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, this is one of your students. Is this the one who got a scholarship? The one
This
who's
is the one, so
abroad?
Fiona, she graduated. No, I don't think, no, her picture is not amongst these. This is Fiona. She graduated with a BBA. So she's now
Nice.
our finance person at Gracevilla. We hired her.
Nice, 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 nice. Look at them doing communal work, washing their
Yeah.
clothes, and so happy. All right. All right, so I'll stop sharing here. Yeah. All right. So back to us. So let's see. So what has been my gosh, yes, my friends are saying, wow, this is
Some
like
of
I can't imagine how you've inspired so many young women, how you've been able to give them hope, most of all, giving them hope. So how do you find these girls in the villages? What's the criteria you use? Do they come to you or what?
So we don't usually they find us 100 we've never found it all. So girls come to us, but then right now we accept that kids were not brought to us by the police or by probation. So yeah.
And so what makes them qualified to join Gracevilla?
And even when we so most kids are brought by police or by the district probation officers, like kids who need a safe place to be. It could be anything from child trafficking or abandonment or early marriages or just someone who's in a desperate situation, So every kid who comes here has to come with backed by the LC1, the local council.
Yeah.
By their church, whatever church they go to, even if it's a mosque and then also backed by with a letter. The probation office needs to also be behind it, and so it's the LC, the church, and the local, the probation. So every kid who's in the home has a file and a court order saying that they need to be in the home. So there's one wonderful thing that I found in place when I came home is that there's a very, very good system. Like people are very careful. You've heard the bad stories about fake, orphanages where they torture children or they pretend that they have kids just to get donations. So the government has really, come down hard on places like Gracevilla. So we need to always have our paperwork straight, and I'm happy that they are very, very strict on us. They come for health inspections. They come for, they check the files. They check on the girls, and so we're not alone just swimming in a funny uncharted territory. We actually are backed by those systems that are in place.
Wow. Oh, okay. So people are watching and they're saying, Candace, that's so good of you. May God bless you. Some other people like, wow, high five. That's awesome. You're doing an amazing job. And then where is your super chat? That was one of my other friends. So, I mean, Ruth, this is very inspiring. Like, again, some of you who might be just joining, thanks again for joining us. Ruth is sharing her story of how she's the founder of Gracevilla. Gracevilla is found in Kabale, that's in southwestern Uganda, or just western Uganda. And it's a home for girls who are orphans, who are usually on the verge of probably being married off when they're still very young, not being able to go to school. So she's telling us a story how she left the United States and she felt there was a calling for her to go help out back in her home village in Kabale. And That's how she started the school, and so she's sharing her journey, how everything has been so far, and how the girls come to join the place. Ruth, you started out. Gracevilla was started in your own parents' home. Am I correct? That was the home for the girls.
Well, that was the plan. That was the plan, but that's not what happened in the end, because I think a few months before I moved to Kawale, the house burnt. The tenants who were in the house burnt it down to the ground. So I ended up not having a place to start. So we ended up renting a house
Okay.
right next to where we are now, and then we lived in that house for this first 7 years of our existence. Actually, I have a story on that.
Yeah.
So we lived there for 7 years, and we loved it. A beautiful
Yes.
house. We had a big field that we turned into a soccer field, so it was just perfect for us. And I think we forgot that we don't own it, because 7 years is a long time. So the owners needed it back and gave us a notice, to leave the place, and gave us 3 months, which is like apparently the minimum. You're allowed to give 3 months if an eviction,
Okay.
so 3 months. But for us, that was really hard, because remember, we're in the house itself, we're like 28 girls. And our programs, we have 215 girls in total. I live with 28. The rest come in for the soccer, for the tailoring, for the baking, for counseling, mentoring, all the different programs that we have. So where will you find a house that can accommodate all those people and all those different things? So it was terrifying. It was actually one of our worst moments. And it was last year. Then COVID hit. And COVID was awful, but for us, it gave us a reprieve, because remember, there was this directive not to evict anybody during that lockdown. So we're like, yay, it bought us a few months of looking for a place.
Yeah.
So, but the wonderful thing is, I just want to say this story because it was one of those examples of how amazing community can be, the love of people and the care of people, and mostly people who have never even met us. And to be honest, mostly Ugandans.
Yes.
People had heard about Gracevilla, I think, on Facebook, and some of the, if you see us in the newspaper, I get all excited, not because, yay, I'm in the paper, but because it's giving us credibility. And it's also sharing our story out there. So like even you, Brenda, like people who are watching this, imagine if they heard that we were evicted,
Yes.
So they would feel like they know the girls, and they all, so people just, it was amazing how people rallied around us. And people we had never met even did little fundraisers here and there. And it was just beautiful. It was terrifying, but it was beautiful. And within about, in July, so we got the eviction in January. By July, we were moving into a new house that we had actually bought. So
wow.
Speaking from our new,
we
call it our miracle house, And
wow.
We say a miracle home built on community, people like you, Brenda. So this is, I just wanted to bring that story out there.
It's amazing. Sometimes it's how, like there's one thing I love about, like Africa in general, like people will come together. I mean, even the US, people will come together and like the power of community. So, I mean, you can't take that for granted. So, but I mean, again, community comes in. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we've been feeling this love of and support of community since we started, even from locals right here. You'll find this old lady, she's never had shoes. All she does is dig in the garden. She'll come with a basket of potatoes because she knows we have kids, or with eggs, like 5 eggs, Or we have this lady who works, her name is Juanita. She works in a library. So she's just a regular person, but she gives us milk every day. And she's been doing it for like 5 years now. We get milk from her. So we really, really do feel community presence. Even yesterday, it was Pentecost Day. And a group came and brought us, they're called the Good Samaritans. They brought us, bread and rice. So we always, our stores don't run empty, and it's because people like us, and we don't take it for granted. They love the kids, they love the home, the gate is open, and people just come in, and people like you, Brenda. Imagine if you were driving through Kavale and
Yeah, I would
I
definitely just
trust
stop
that you
by and
stop by.
yes, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're like, I can't just go with nothing. Let me go get bread.
Yeah, yeah. I have
Then you
some
bring
friends
bread,
who
and bread
just,
is
yeah,
sorted for that day.
yeah. I've had friends stop by
Yeah,
and
so
they're
it's
like, "Oh my
really,
gosh,
really,
the
really beautiful.
girls!" Yeah, yeah. Some
Yeah,
friend of mine, there's
yeah.
Eunice she's watching. She says she's gonna get herself a black Gracevilla hoodie one of these days. So,
Yay. Okay. One of these ones. Please do. That's
yeah,
one way we
yeah,
really, really
yeah.
help
So
get
how do
school
you? I
fees for the
mean,
kids.
yeah. So
Mhm.
Ruth, how do you? Where do you get money for like to? Oh well, you have community supporting you, and here and there, you started some products that the girls are making at the house, like bags, like laptop bags. You were just showing me, and like the hoodies, and so that to get some money, some funds to run the community, like the organization. How else do you get funds
Yeah,
to keep this going?
yeah. So we have, yeah. So it's that's a good question and a tough one because Brenda, you can imagine you don't want to be that friend who's always asking friends for money because then
Yeah,
they would see the phone call and say, "Oh no, it's Ruth, busy. I'm busy right
yeah.
now." You don't want to be that person who's perpetually asking. So we
Oh,
tried to come up with ways, and that's like this hoodie that I'm wearing, which has our motto: "We rise by lifting others," and it's a
mhm.
beautiful hoodie, really well made, and people are buying them. So so every time you buy one, that goes into it directly towards what we do. We tailor, like I mentioned. We
Yeah,
have different um, support programs. Like we have this GV 50K warrior. In fact, if anybody's watching, it's 50,000 shillings. People commit to giving 50,000 shillings every month, and whatever
every
the
month.
equivalent
Okay.
is in US dollars. So it's every month, and it's kind of cool because it's now like a team of the GV 50K warriors, and
How do people get to
so
do that? How do they get to know and
yeah,
join?
so if you're, it's on our website, which is
Okay,
gracevilla.org, and on our Facebook page, which is Gracevilla Cavale, and our Instagram page, which is Gracevilla,
okay,
Gracevilla
okay.
Cavale as well. So, and yeah, so, or, my phone numbers are everywhere, our information is everywhere. So it's 50K. Okay, it's I'm not saying it's little, but it's
It's
doable. Now imagine if
yeah,
we're getting from 10 people or 20 people, that's
yeah.
accumulatively so impactful, really impactful. Then we have people who support kids. Um, like yeah, and like there's one of the girls is Anita. She's in Gezi High School, which is kind of expensive for us, and we had almost given up. Then some friends of yours who I won't mention
Yeah, I know
have
Tush.
these
Yeah,
different
yeah. Annette. I know Annette
yeah,
supports one
Annette,
girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does, and it's really, now if you know that that girl is all sorted, then it just you now focus on the next one. So yeah, we have friends who take up children who decide purpose to support a child. Some have little ones and I've stayed with them through the years, so that's really fantastic. And then people just get up and say, today I'm giving my tithe to Gracevilla, or I'm just going to send a donation, and it's yeah. So that's how we keep going. Then we also have different things like baking. We have a bakery and we make stuff that people buy. We've done as much as bake wedding cakes. So we've become that good. The
Wow.
girls have become that good. Yeah. And then mat weaving. So we sell mats. Then another exciting one is dancing. So
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
came up with a friend of ours who's a manager of one of our hotels. If you've ever heard of White Horse, White Horse Inn, or maybe not.
Yes, I know
So there's
White
this
Horse
White
in
Horse Inn in
Kabale. Yes, yes.
yes. So this friend said, "Oh, we always hire these professional dancers to come in to dance for people on Sundays, and then we pay them. Why don't we give this money to Gracevilla? Your girls dance, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but we do dance, but we only did that, at the home dancing. We weren't that
Yeah.
skilled, the kind that would go to a hotel and get paid and get the customers get excited to watch. So I went back home and I was like, girls, we need to practice. I mean, we and we managed to get a teacher, a really good dance teacher. And we did sleep for like a week. And then we were kind of good, but not amazing. But we said we're ready on the day. And then it rained. So they said, okay, we're postponing it to the next week. And we're like, yay, another week to to become good. But honestly, the girls are amazing. We got to Whitehorse Inn and we were so good. They were actually really, really, really good. And they've become better. Now we set aside every Tuesday and Thursday for dance practice. And the girls are amazing. People hire us at weddings, at concerts. Bachiga Nation hired us for one evening.
Yes.
We even went to one of the Milege World Music Festivals in Entebbe. So that brings us some good money. And the hotels, like almost every weekend, we have a gig at a hotel. So just creative things that bring in money, but also teach the girls a skill. Because these girls are not going to be with me forever. As soon as they get 23, they're going to leave our walls. And you know what it's like here in Uganda. You can't just survive on just education. Well, you can, but many times it's good to have something to fall back on. So, something to do that is on the side. So that's where the tailoring, the baking, the dance, all those things come in.
Absolutely. All right. So you guys, I'll share all the other details, how you can reach out to Gracevilla, how you can be part of it, where Ruth will share with me some of her information on where you can buy yourself some of these goodies, like the hoodies. They're amazing. I can't wait to get mine. We're raised by lifting others, and that's my motto. There's nothing beautiful like lifting others, even without anticipating a payback or anything. It just lifts you up. So we'll share where you can get all these things. Well, you started. Do you still have a shop? I remember you had started a shop. How is that going?
We had. Right. No, that's one of the projects that died during COVID because I remember when everything had to shut down and we had no customers, but we're still paying rent, still paying our salaries to the staff, electricity, water. So after about 5 months, we stopped, and it was manned 50% by our kids. We weren't comfortable with them going back into that sort of environment with COVID around. So we decided to shut that down. And but the new place is on about an acre of land. And we are plan, like in the next 3 to 5 years, is to build a little cafe near the gate.
Okay.
Because this one, that's a future plan.
So so when these girls, up to how far can you take the girls? So most of them join the group when they are in primary or in secondary, and then how far do you take them?
So our youngest that we ever brought in was 6, although we sometimes have younger ones living in the house because of different circumstances. But we say 6 to 21. So autonomy is after they graduate. But then the eldest that we can bring in is 18, So we had said autonomy is 21, but then in reality, if a kid is still in university, where is she going to go? So you still need to keep the girl safe, right? So so autonomy is after they complete university.
Okay. How many have graduated so far?
We have 6. One has graduated. Another one would have graduated, but COVID happened. So she's going in for her 3rd year, which is her final year tomorrow. She's actually going to Chamberlain tomorrow for her 3rd year. And then it has 2 semesters, then she'll graduate. Then we have another girl in Makerere doing business statistics. Then we have another girl in MOOBS, 2 girls in Chambogo, and then we have Chirabo, who is at African Leadership University in Mauritius, the girl that you mentioned. So we have quite a few girls in university. Then we have many who finished senior 6, so we're going to have even more after the results come back.
Now, yeah. So now, when
So
after
that's
senior six, do you get like
that's one of
any?
those amazing things.
Yeah. Do you get any kind of scholarship for them, or how do you go about like university fees?
People help. People help, and we pay their fees.
Okay.
With travel, we managed to get a scholarship. So that one was a lot of work. Of applying is not easy, but yeah, we managed through friends. It's a long story, but a wonderful one.
Yeah.
We actually most of the stories are we have a blog that you can get to through Facebook. So yeah, so we
Okay.
get some of them on scholarship, but the majority are paid for by us. But then we do get help because I think two of our girls have sponsors who look after them.
Okay.
Two wonderful people
Okay.
who look after them, and remember, because yes. So university is just the same as all the other grades, the same as high school and primary school and kindergarten, where we pay, unless they're on government sponsorship.
Right. Right. Hey, Liz, thanks for joining. Yeah, I think you said you have to run, but that's okay. So we were just chatting with Ruth. Ruth is from Kabale, and she's the founder of Gracevilla. For guys, some of you who are just joining in now. Charles, I see you're watching from Gulu. Next time you're in Kabale, you have to visit Ruth and see the girls. You guys can visit Kabale, visit Gracevilla Foundation, see how the girls are doing, give them some support. I'll put all the details again in how you can be part of the Gracevilla community and help out in some way. And you never know, like even a pack of pads. These are girls who
Oh,
are absolutely orphans, and Gracevilla is taking care of them. And that was Ruth's idea, and I think she's doing an amazing job. So, what have been your challenges, Ruth? Tell me, because I
yeah.
kind of think when you started, I told Corey, I told my husband, I'm like, I swear, Ruth just went back to Kabale. He's like, was she serious? I'm like, yes, she
Yeah.
left. And he said, well, I feel like you should be doing the same, but too bad I brought you over here. Because
Oh, wait, had you ever, were you in that world, were you in the world of
yes, like
social
I've
services?
always yeah, so like my mom always brought people home, and she looked after so many kids,
Yes,
so many people, and we were
yes,
always full. Like we had a tiny house, but we had people from all walks of life, and she would just feed them, take them to school, and
yes,
share all our clothes with them. So I said, like after my mom passed, I said, I want to do the same. I just want to do what she was doing. She had no money, but hey, she did it, so I can do
she
it.
was a
Like there's no,
philanthropist. Yeah,
yeah. So he was laughing at me. He's like, oh, I can see you now saying Ruth is gone. She's gonna do this, and I also want to do
yeah,
it. I'm like, yes, it's one of my dreams. I want to help girls. I want to
yeah.
help. Like start up like a small thing back home where like all these girls that end up getting married at the ages of like 10, 11, they can't go back to school for some reason and they start being housemaids. Those things break my heart. But yeah. So
And there's a need, Brenda. There's a
yeah,
need
there's a need.
for more people who are doing what I do, but we also need people like you because imagine if you were here, you wouldn't be interviewing me right now.
Yeah.
And what you're doing right now is impactful in its own way. Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. But if anybody watching or you, Brenda, ever needs any as much advice
Guidance.
as I can give or direction, and because it is a journey, and and I know people's guidance really helped me a lot. I was always taking notes I walked around with a notebook for 2 years, so I'm very, very willing and happy to talk to anybody or guide anyone, and yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, because I think most of us, think of have these ideas and we get scared, and especially if you don't
Mm-hmm.
live back home. So,
Yes.
like you start something and then hand it over to somebody to do it for you, and all you do is like keep sending funds, and you're not even sure the project is going. So it's kind of
How
like,
do you know? Right.
yeah, how do you know?
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of, but that's impressive, Ruth. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, you guys. If you, my friend says, hey, Kabale is in the list of towns I will visit very soon. Hopefully, I'll get to be in touch with
Yay.
Ruth. Yes.
You'll be
Charles
welcome.
does.
Very welcome.
Charles does like videos. He's from the north, so he does like he's trying to promote his town. So he does like all these videos that to showcase Gulu, and because most people
Mm-hmm.
know Gulu as like a no-go area for the longest part. So he's doing an amazing job promoting Gulu. But yeah, once you visit Kabale, please reach out to Ruth. Just say Brenda's friend.
Charles,
she'll
come visit.
she'll know who you are. So, all right. So, what advice? So, how has it? What challenges have you faced with the girls? There's having girls, bringing in girls, and also we know teenagers have their own, you know, little habits. So, what have been challenges for you there, or what have you learned from the girls? What has been your journey with the girls mostly?
Yeah. Well, one thing I expected was a lot of trouble, because I knew what I was dealing with in the US, with people who go through what our girls are going through. But
Mhm.
I was surprised to not get any trouble for years. I actually kept waiting. Maybe the girls are still being good because it's new, maybe this and that. But no. So one thing what I think, well, what I've found out is the girls are like just so happy to be home, to be in a safe place. Can you hear? There's a bird outside. Is it loud?
No.
So, sorry about that. Yeah. So there's some. I mean, it needs to be studied. This thing needs to be studied because honestly, we have, or maybe there's something about the home, the environment that we're in, because we try. The main thing I wanted, like I mentioned before, was for it to be the same kind of home that you and I grew up in, Brenda.
Mhm.
Where we had a family unit. You struggle and everything, but you're confident in love. You're confident in knowing that you're safe, and even if you do something wrong, it's still your home and stuff. So I kept encouraging them, be you. We'll still love you, and because I kept thinking they're suppressing something. But we've never had, well, we've had things like, yeah, it was my turn in the bathroom, that kind of thing. Wear my
Yeah.
shoes, stuff like that. Then I
Mhm.
remember in the beginning, sometimes kids, because it's Kabale is small, so sometimes you bring a kid in and people know about that kid's past, and they're like, no, she used to steal and this and that. And then I said, well, if you were alone, you're 7 years old, you're 8 years old, you live alone, you don't have any source of food, any source of, and then you see bananas there, what would you do? Don't judge. Let's judge a child from the point when we don't look at the past, we start looking at,
Right.
so don't let the past define you, or don't let the past define anybody that's around you. Start from this point and onwards. So yeah, so we've been fine. Manners, like with the girls, the struggles that we go through are more like financial issues, um yeah, which I expected, but I expected them to come a bit later. But it started almost in the first year because, like I
Yeah.
mentioned, we had saved and I thought I was rich and everything. Turns out I wasn't. Um, it's expensive, you know, not just the home, but all you think of the utilities, think of the food, think of the school fees, think of the health care. You have to have staff around you, the guard, the matron. You have to have, things like that. So
Yeah.
we have not failed. I'm
Mhm.
proud and happy and grateful to say, despite the struggles, we've not failed. And I think the struggles are also one of the things that have brought us closer as a family, because the girls know how tough it is to come up with every penny. They're grateful for everything that comes in. So maybe that's another reason why we have kids who, yeah, kids are struggling, are working hard with school, working hard to behave. And also, I always tell them, you are our ambassadors. So the girls work
Right.
hard to be, fantastic ambassadors. as for the home. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I always imagine, okay, you're bringing in strangers and
And then
all.
also the fact that,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Ruth.
well, another strange, so I'm a girl, clearly, a young lady. I
Yeah.
mean, a lady, not that young anymore, but people think I'm young. And then I'm not married yet, and stuff like that. So that kind of would sometimes create barriers, with dealing with
So
leadership and
it's
stuff. But people have,
oh yeah.
yeah, like, yeah.
It's
But
the whole village trying
I mean,
to Is the whole village trying to find a husband for you now?
oh, I've had many, potential potential husbands and stuff. Yeah, but but then also the respect, because it's a very patriarchal society. So they're like, who?
Yes.
Even just the other day, someone came in and was talking nicely to a mother, thinking she was me, like one of the. And I was right there, next to her. Then later she's like, "Oh, are you Ruth? I didn't expect," you know,
Oh, that's funny.
So that happens,
That's
or people looking
funny.
behind your shoulder for the Mzungu who's running the place, or talking to like an intern, thinking he's, the person, the founder or something. So we meet that, but it's kind of expected. And it's not, we it's okay.
Yeah, yeah, you're okay. Jeez. Anyway, so yeah, Charles is saying I actually have some kids. I'm also supporting at school because I know what it means not to afford being at school. I passed through it. I plan to expand it and help more kids. So I hope to ask Ruth some more questions. Yes. You can reach out to Ruth. I'll give you all her information. I'm sure she can be of help to guide you, if you have any questions. Um, but yes, she's available whenever she can. Like as you can imagine, how many kids do you have now at the place, Ruth?
20 something in the house right now. Yeah, 20
Yeah,
plus.
20 plus, and then the
The
some
numbers
do.
fluctuate depending on the school term.
Oh, because some are in boarding school.
So at the height of COVID, we were maximum. So we were 28 when we were all home. We were 28 in the house. So,
Okay.
but then after people started, school started opening slowly. Like I mentioned, some of the girls are in university, some of things like that. So when we're at
Yeah.
capacity right now, we're 28 in the house.
Yeah.
But then in
Is
total,
mom
with all the
helping?
kids in
Or
all
is
our
mom
programs, and the kids were
retired
in school.
now?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And Gracevilla is named after her. The Grace. Her name
Yes.
is
Yes.
Reverend
Yes.
Canon Grace. Yeah. So
Yes.
she's a
Yes.
voice of reason. She's been in the NGO world for a long time, so she's also a good sounding board for me. And she kind of keeps. We have a board, and she chairs the board, which is great.
Okay.
So the board keeps us, walking that straight path.
Yeah,
And
grounded
it's
in a
very
way.
important having
Yeah.
a very strong board. Then we also have, Then we also have committees. We have the Dream Team in Kavale, which is a fantastic group of 6 people. And then we have the Dream Team in Kampala, the overall Dream Team, which is in Kampala. So those groups are we meet often. The one in Kavale, we meet almost every week. I think every other week. And night and day. Like, I'm so glad that we came up with that, because these guys are like really, 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 they take a great load off of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have, the board, we have committees, then we have, another group
Are they
called the Gracevilla
voluntary?
family, which
Do
also
they
is
do it in a voluntary way,
yes,
Ruth?
100%
Or
voluntary.
wow, that's amazing. That's
100%.
amazing.
Yeah, they even give, they even inject, they even
Wow.
give.
Nice, nice, nice. What's his name? Ndugu. Is Ndugu on the committee? I love that guy.
Yeah,
You know,
he's not. Well, No, he's not on the committee, but we have which Ndugu? There are
You
two
can
Ndugus.
do what is it's like the minister guy, yes.
The primate. No, he's not. He's a
Yeah,
wonderful supporter. Well,
yeah.
his wife is on our board, one of our
Oh,
board
that's good.
members. But
That's
yeah,
good. That's
yeah,
good.
she's wonderful.
Wow. All right, Ruth. Yeah. So, anyways, like amazing, amazing, amazing lady you are, and I feel like you. The story to me, you're like my African Oprah. So, not so many people take on such a job. It's really not even like about your passion. It's commitment. It's a lot of sacrifice. I know you sacrificed so much to just make sure this happens. I mean, which young girls, which African girls, you just wake up and you're like, I'm done with my American dream and I'm just moving back to help people. I don't know that many. If you have a list, send it to me. So you are amazing, and guys, we'll see how to help out here and there. I think for the
Thank
people in the diaspora, most of the things that we love are things that the girls are doing with their hands, and you can also reach out and support a child, uh, like like Tush is doing, Annette. Kudos to you, Annette. You're doing a fantastic job, and Ruth, thanks so much for your time. If there's any other time you need us, please let us know. People can visit Gracevilla groups or website. They also have a website. I'll put all these things in the description if you guys want to check them out and get in touch with Ruth as well. Ruth, what's your last comment or advice to anybody who is out there? What do you think people should know about young girls and how they can be of an impact to young girls out there?
Yeah. Thank you. Again, let me end by saying thank you, Brenda, for having me here talking to you. I hope you can see me. We gave a disclaimer at the beginning. It's nighttime over here, and the lights are kind of dim. But yeah, it's kind of surreal being, this whole thing of me being here and you being there. I like our motto is we rise by lifting others, and that's basically what we do. And we live on the support. We survive on the support and the charity and the love and kindness of people just like you watching this.
Mhm.
If anybody has ever thought I would like to do something like like help out, but I'm too young or I'm not rich, I'm not Bill Gates and stuff or Oprah, every little bit helps, because every child that's needy or at risk is just one caring adult away from changing the story of her life or his life forever. Just one adult, just one kid and one adult. So don't think big, don't think numbers, just think one. Can I impact one? So whether it's
Yes.
through someone like me or Brenda or Charles in Gulu or or whether it's you directly helping, because I'm sure everybody somehow is connected to someone who is in need. It would change,
Mhm.
it would make a big difference. And trust me, I've never been happier, even when stressed over things. This was the best decision I ever made, and not because I up and left and moved, but because I'm actually seeing lives change. And
Yeah.
I want to thank anyone who's watching who has helped. Thank you so much for helping this, story happen, this Gracevilla happen, and please keep with us, And yeah, God bless you. And if you're ever in Kabale, come visit us. Our gate is open, and you'd love it. You'd love the kids. The kids love guests, and maybe we'll have cookies and stuff. And then also, if you ever see us ask, we do. We bake amazing cookies. Yeah, buy our hoodie, buy our t-shirts and walk around, with this motto on your chest. And
Yeah.
follow us on Facebook, Grace Villa Kabale, and our Instagram page, Grace Villa, our Twitter page, Grace Villa UG. And yeah, and that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Ruth. Thank you so much. I know it's nighttime now. You probably need to go drink tea. Your mom is like, "What are you doing? No kola cheshahe juchigasum."
No, mom doesn't live here, so hey, we can talk all night.
I know. Oh, I see. I
But
see.
I'm in the dining room, so this is our dining space. So the kids, it's almost 8 o'clock. So
Yeah.
and I made them shut the doors for sound. So yeah, when
For
I
sure.
open
Yeah.
up, everybody will. Yeah.
Well, Ruth,
So
whenever you come back to
next time
see
we'll meet them
Apollo,
if we. Hmm.
yeah,
I should have
come
called
visit.
some of them. Anyone?
Yeah, is anybody there to say hello to us?
Yeah. Doreen, Olivia, anyone? Come say hi. Brenda, come. Or anyone who's here. Brenda, come say hi. Where's the here's Brenda. Who's in the kitchen? So this is
Hi,
Brenda.
Brenda. How are you?
Okay.
Oh, Bambi.
How old are you, Brenda?
11.
11. What class are you
11.
in? This is Helen. Helen, come say hi.
Hi.
Hi,
This is
Helen. How are
Helen
you?
is in senior 2. Fiona is our graduate.
Hi, Fiona. Congrats.
I said it.
Thank you. Thank you. Who's next to you? That's Brenda. Brenda is little, but she's in senior 2. Hi,
Hi,
Brenda.
Brenda.
Hi.
There's
You guys know I'm
Martha.
also called Brenda, so now I've met other Brendas. Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah. I'll say
Bye.
hi to this is Brenda. Brenda, where are you? What state are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
So she's in a place called Pennsylvania. Yeah.
It's like next to New York. It's
Yeah.
next
Oh,
to
other
New
girls are here.
Jersey.
There's Bridget.
Hi, hi, girls. Oh my gosh, it's dark there now. Hi, hi. You all look amazing. Stay being good girls, okay? Bambi.
So this is my
Mura
friend Brenda.
gambachi.
Yeah. Say hi, Auntie Brenda.
Hi, Auntie Brenda.
Oh, hi, girls. Hi, stay blessed. Oh, Bambi.
All
You
right.
guys are so
This is some
happy.
of the girl. Who's cooking?
It's Helen and Brenda.
So Brenda is the chef today. Brenda, what are you cooking?
We are cooking Irish potatoes and rice plus nuts.
Peanuts. Kinyebwa. Today it's not kosher beans.
Kinyebwa.
Yeah.
No, Bambi.
Kinyebwa. Olivia, say hi. Who's there? Becky. Did you say hi,
Hello.
Becky?
Hi.
Hi.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
Ruth Bambi.
Bye.
Bye, girls. Take care. Bambi, they're so happy, Ruth. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, thanks for your time. Thanks for your time, Ruth. Keep being awesome. I'm so proud of you, and you inspire us, so many of us, and we look up to you now. So anytime people will be coming to you for advice, even dealing with teenagers and stuff like that, these are teenagers who are not even your kids, but you've had to like deal with them and see them grow, and that's an amazing job you've done. So you take care. Go have a good night. We'll keep in touch. Next time you come, make sure you come visit me also. Okay?
I'm glad we did this. God bless you.
You too. You too.
Pennsylvania.
You take care.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brenda. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.
You too.
How do I end it? Okay, bye.
You can have. You just have to go. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Thanks, Charles. Thanks, Leah. Thanks. Oh gosh, that girl Irene. You just phone when we're done. but I'll be putting this video up. I had an amazing person in studio today who is Ruth Bahika, the founder of Gracevilla. And she shared amazing things. She's taking care of girls who are orphans, girls who were on the verge of being married off at a young age. So her place is found in Kabale, that's in southwestern Uganda. So anytime you guys travel to Kabale, please visit Gracevilla. I'll leave all her information in the descriptions, and you guys can reach out to see how you can be of an impact to these girls in form of anything. They do amazing things. They're going to school, but they do tailoring, so they're able to do some products that you guys can buy, like hoodies, bags for your computers, so many other stuff, art for your wall, like this thing here, like that one, not this exact one, but they do amazing work. So you can support that way. And again, thanks for joining me. I have to end this and get back to work. You take care. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Share with your friends. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments for me, and I'll be glad to answer them. I'll be glad to send you to the contacts, Ruth's contacts to you guys if you have any questions, if you want to be inspired on how you can start a foundation and things like that. So I gotta go. This is the end of my video. Take care again. Thanks for coming in. Support those of you who haven't subscribed. Please subscribe to our videos, and every week we'll be hosting some new people that I believe can inspire us. So today we had Ruth. I think on Thursday we'll be having somebody from investment, how you can invest in Uganda, what are challenges of investing, what are the red flags of investing in Uganda, and what can you invest in Uganda. So we'll be having another guest on Wednesday or Thursday, and then another guest on Friday, another guest on Wednesday. So you guys make sure you subscribe, turn your bells on so you don't miss this great sharing. So take care. Bye-bye.